Let's start again. Now, the test of the following, just 1 second. Now, first of all, how to operate the machine, that let us go through the method of operation. Keep the operating lever in the horizontal position. Now, place the specimen on the test specimen. Now, turn the nut in clockwise by the handle fixed to the nut in clockwise direction, so that that platform goes up, and along with the workpiece, and workpiece will go and touch the indenter and then slightly push the indenter. Next, lift the operating throttle from the horizontal corner upward slightly, for which it rotates by its own weight automatically, and go to the right position, and wait until the lever becomes standstill, and wait there for say 15 to 20 seconds, and then bring on manually the lever to the original horizontal position. Turn back the van in the anti-clockwise direction so that platform goes down, and remove the specimen and carry the same procedure for other specimens also. The diameter of the impression is supposed to be checked by Fresnel microscope and find out the Fresnel hardness number from referring to the chart. The state blocks supplied around the machine can verify the accuracy of the tester. Some of the test blocks are given here. In case of variation of the indicated value beyond the limits given, they notice while testing again 10 ball holder and 10 ball holder, then changes the ball. Then change the ball. The standards with hardness block, test block supplies with the machine should be only be used in case of doubt of the accuracy of the result. Now the Fresnel hardness number are given. Let us go through now how we can check the hardness from the Fresnel hardness chart. Here, hardness chart is given, and what is shown in the hardness chart is the following of proportions are important. What is given here is the ball diameter. Here, 5 millimeter ball diameter is used, and this is the hardness or in kg per square millimeter is given here. What else is given? The diameter of the impression. This is the diameter of the impression, dia of impression checked by Fresnel microscope. Now, what is shown here? That is certain other items like 750, 250, 750, 250. These are the amount of load applied to the ball. The amount of load posted on the hanger to be applied to the ball. So by 5 millimeter ball and by applying 250 millimeter, 250 kg weight, we can take the hardness of, if you get the impression of 1.26, which is the minimum impression, is just more than 1 millimeter impression. That is, hardness should be equal to 196. That is the minimum hardness we can take on this type of machine. For say 250 machine kg weight, if the dimension is the 1.35 millimeter, the hardness will be 1.71. For the same weight, if the diameter of impression is 1.4, hardness will be 1.51. So this is the hardest material here, that is 197 Reynolds hardness, and it is go on reducing it so that at the diameter of the impression 1.7 with the minimum hardness is equal to 107 Fresnel is achievable. And hardness can be reduced even further. Less amount of hardness can be checked, say for 250 kg hardness here, 250 kg indenter with ball hardness equal to 5 millimeter. Hardness can be as low as 31.8, where with the impression diameter of the impression of the ball by the ball is equal to 3 millimeter. Means 3 millimeter diameter ball, the impression is achieved around it. So the hardness will be as low as 21.8 kg, that as well as 21.8 kg per millimeter square, or only simply 31.8. Next, what will happen? If the ball diameter is 10 mm, which is given here, that applied load will be can be 3000, can be 1000, can be 500, can be 250, and the impression can be achieved. Measurement of the impression can be achieved accordingly. Say 2451, if the ball is 10 millimeter and the load is 550 or 3000, the hardness will be 5.97. For the same impression with the applied load is 1000, the ball hardness is much less, almost 5 times less. It will be 1.99, and for 500 it will be 99.4 hardness, Fresnel hardness, and 49.7 Fresnel hardness. Now, for say impression 3.14 with hardness with the ball impression 12, 10, and with 3010 3000 metric ton indenter load, hardness will be only 378, and for 1000 indenter it will be only 126, and the 62.9, 30.5 for only this amount of 3.14 hardness. Means higher the load, hardness is higher; lower the load, hardness is lower for the same impression. Next, ball is 10 mm, millimeter diameter is 300, 1000, 500, 250. If the diameter of the impression is 300, weight is 100, the hardness will be 300, and for 3000 kg load, for 1000 kg load 100, 500 kg load 50 kg, 50, and 25 kg load 250 kg. And for say impression diameter of the impression 4, 3000 kg RPM is 229, and 1000 kg 36.3, and 500 kg 38.1, and 250 kg 19.1. So here also same process follows for the same diameter of the impression. Higher the applied indenter load, higher is the hardness. Some more other impressions are diameter impressions are given in the Fresnel hardness chart. Here we are going for again 10 millimeter diameter load, diameter of the indenter, and we are applied 3000 metric ton, 1000 metric ton, 1000 metric ton, 500 metric ton, 250 metric ton respectively, and for say hardness around, for the impression around 4.4 say, for 3000 applied 3000 material, we are supposed to get 187 Fresnel hardness. For only applied 1000 load, for the same hardness we are getting 62.4 Fresnel hardness, and 500 kg 31.2, and 250 kg is 15.6. Here also say 500 kg, 500 millimeter diameter. For applied 3000 metric ton to make this diameter, the hardness required is 143. For applying 1000 metric ton, it is 47.5. For applied 600, 523.8, and for applied 250, 11.9. This is the method of telling the indenter with the hardness. Here, Same thing is procedure is going on. In higher size of the hardness, higher size of the impression, and higher the size of the impression, lower is the hardness for applying different type of fall loads. Now let us go for certain demonstration.
This is our Fresnel hardness testing machine. It is kept over a table, and over the table along with the machine we have our microscope, test workpieces and the indenter itself kept side by side. In the table, in the machine, we have a load lifting platform like here, a indenter holding device and a load actuating rod which will load the load when rotated clockwise and unload the load when rotated anti-clockwise. The load is kept or fixed on the platform or hanger like this, over which a load of up to 3000 equivalent weight, 3000 kgf or 3 metric ton can be loaded. And we have the loads as kept on the floor. We have 6 different weights, of each of them are equivalent, 4 of them are equivalent to 5 kg of weight and 2 of them are equivalent to 50 kg of weight. This can be loaded over this load actuating over this hanger, one at a time, one all at a time according to the requirement of our job. This machine is defined and known as Fresnel hardness testing machine. Here an aluminium workpiece is kept above the loading and unloading platform, and it is and a 10 millimeter indenter is fixed over the indenter fixing device. The aluminium the table is raised by rotating the handles clockwise anti-clockwise to lift it so that the workpiece engaged in the indenter itself. Next, load actuating rod is kept on the left side, and you have to move it clockwise to engage the load itself. And on the hanger, a 250 kg weight is fixed, as the hanger itself can produce 500 kg equivalent weight. Totally, we can engage 750 kg of equivalent weight, which is good for making the impression of the aluminum itself. Now I am creating the impression by moving the load actuating rod clockwise in a position so that it engages the indenter to the workpiece, and kept it as it is for more or less 5 to 10 seconds, and then actually unloading the indenter and total lifting device is brought downwards here so that the impression created can be visible over it, which is here. This diameter of this impression can be measured by means of the microscope itself, which with an accuracy of 0.01 plus minus 0.01 millimeter.
Let us go through certain videos from the YouTube.
Today I am conducting the experiment of Brinell hardness number. This is the experiment. Now this is the tableau column. We have to find out the Brinell hardness number for ferrous material 187.5, major diameter 250 mm, minor diameter for non-ferrous material. These are the major diameter for the ferrous and non-ferrous. The indenter will be 2.5 mm, 5 mm. This is the tableau column. This is the ferrous material, mild steel, cast iron. Now indenter used is 2.5 mm diameter indenter. This is the 2.5 mm diameter indenter is we are going to use. For non-ferrous material, this is the non-ferrous material. We are using the 5 mm indenter diameter. Now, this is the platform. For ferrous material, we have to fix 187.5 kg and fix the indenter here with the help of Allen key. With the help of Allen key, you have to fix here. Now indenter is fixed here. Cast iron is placed over the platform. With the help of elevating screw, rotate clockwise direction such that the specimen touches to the indenter. As it touches to the indenter, we have to apply the minor load 3 kg. A small needle moves anti-clockwise direction 3 kg and larger needle moves 0. Small 3 kg, larger will be 0. Now apply the load. The larger needle will moving in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, as the larger needle stops, you have to wait for 1 minute in case of Brinell hardness number. In case of Rockwell hardness number, you have to wait for 30 seconds. Wait for 1 minute. Then unload it. Unloading should be slowly. You have to carry it out. Go for next trial. Because here we are using microscope in order to find out the indented diameter. Go for next position. After getting the indentation with the help of a chalk piece, you have to mark over the indenter. This is the part. This is the indenter. This is the indentation. This is the indentation. I have done it. Again I will do for second indentation. I will place over the platform. Apply 3 kg minor load. Load is applied. This is the second trial. We are performing it. As the larger needle stops, wait for 1 minute. Wait for 1 minute. Next, unload it. Move the anti-clockwise rotation. Remove the specimen from the platform. Go for marking here. Go for other color chalk piece in order to get. This is the indenter here. There are two indenters, this and this. Next, I will go for third indentation. Place over the platform. Rotated. 3 kg minor load is applied. Load is applied here. as the larger node is moving in anti-clockwise direction. I am performing in a faster way, but in exam you have to wait for 1 minute so that the material enter into the plastic region. Now wait for 1 minute. Now unload it. Anti-clockwise rotation. Now mark the specimen with the help of other chalk piece. The 3 indentations. This one more is here, one more is here, one more is here. Now, with the help of this microscope, place over the specimen. That part here. Now there is the marking over here. Count the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means the first indentation is 10. 10 is nothing but 1.0 you have to write. The second reading is again count the line, it is 11. 11 means you have to write 1.1. I will go for third reading. It is 1.1. 11 is nothing but you have to consider 1.1. Consider 1.1. In this way you have to perform the test. I have considered the ferrous cast error. From the microscope, this is the microscope you have to find out, and after getting this value, go for mean and substitute in the formula. In case of ferrous material, please change the value. Load 250 and indenter will be 5 mm and it has to be fixed here, and you have to repeat the procedure. Same procedure you have to repeat after taking the readings over that of the specimen. This is the specimen, aluminum and brass, and you have to check into the microscope. The same procedure you have to repeat. You have to wait for 1 minute here.
The Brinell hardness test. Using the Brinell method, the hardness of a turbocharger housing is to be measured. First of all, the tester has to make himself familiar with the testing machine. A monitor and the control panel are positioned in the upper part of the machine. These are used to select and program different testing methods. Below the control panel, a microscope lens with a digital camera and an indenter are installed. These two elements are connected to each other and rotate towards the test piece as required. It is also possible to select and exchange the indenter, so different methods of hardness testing can be conducted on the same testing machine. The support table can be adjusted in height, so the test piece can be positioned at the correct distance to the microscope lens and the indenter. After becoming familiar with the machine, let's start the experiment. The principle of the Brinell hardness test is to press a hard spherical indenter with an exactly defined force onto the test piece, then evaluate the surface area of the indentation. The tester selects a suitable spherical indenter and inserts it into the holding device of the testing machine. Next, he puts the turbocharger housing onto the support table, rotates the microscope lens into vertical position and adjusts the correct height of the test piece. After bringing the test piece surface into focus, he selects the exact spot where the hardness test is to be made. By pushing the start button, the hardness test procedure begins. The testing machine rotates the lens back to its resting position and places the spherical indenter carefully on the test piece surface. Gradually and shock-free, the test force rises to its specified value. After maintaining the test force for a certain time, the indenter automatically lifts off again and the microscope lens pans back to its former position. The indentation can now clearly be seen on the monitor. With the control knob, the tester places 4 measuring lines on the edges of the indentation to measure its diameter. That's it. The testing machine can now calculate the Brinell hardness. The hardness value is defined as test force F in the old unit kilopond divided by the area of the indentation A in square millimetres. The result is displayed on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen and amounts to 250.
Good morning, one and all. Now I will explain the hardness test with the help of the Brinell hardness test term. Then there are two methods, there are two measures, the materials we are going to test with the help of this fellow, ferrous as well as non-ferrous material. Now I will choose, that is the brass material. Then first I will place the brass material onto the anvil of the tester. With the help of the hand feed, we are going to raise the specimen. Before I will conduct the test, I will go and choose the load. What is the load we are applying onto the ferrous as well as non-ferrous? The brass we are using, for the brass we are applying load is 1000 kg. That means pan, it is a 250, another one, another 500, that is the 250, once again 250. Total is 750 and inbuilt, that is the inbuilt is containing a weight of 250. Totally the effective of 1000 kg is going to be acting onto the indenter. This is the indenter we are fixing the indenter knob, that is the indenter holder. The indenter we are using is the steel or carbide steel ball indenter we are using here. The diameter is 10 mm. For the different diameter balls we are using for the different load we are going to use. But now we are using the 10 mm ball. That is the load we are applying. It is the 1000 kg with the help of the weight pan. Then effective transformation of the load is transferred to the indenter. Then switch on the machine. Once switch on the machine, then raise the anvil with the help of the anvil. Once it touches the indenter specimen, then I will set the minor rod, then I will rotate the anvil, then the smaller indicator will come slowly till it touches the red dot in smaller needle. The smaller needle in the smaller dial gauge, it touches the red dot, that means minor load, that is the 250 kg is acting on the specimen. Then slowly I will apply a load with the help of the load transfer lever. Then we will give the dwell time for the 5 minutes till there is a big indicator which is going to be show the movement of the needle. Then it comes to the stagnant. It is going to be stable and stop at one particular point. Then until 5 minutes, depending upon the different material, we give the time. That is the dwell time. After the 5 to 10 minutes, it stops. Once it stops, we release the load, then we take out the specimen. After 5 minutes, release the load. Then once again, in anti-clockwise rotation, we retract back the anvil, take the specimen and switch off the machine. Then there should be an indentation mark is appear onto the specimen. With the help of the chalk piece, we mark that one. Once the mark takes place on the indentation, with the help of the traveling microscope, we take out the D1 value, diagonal 1, in other direction diagonal 2, then take the average value of that. Then with the help of the BHL formula, it is written here, 2p divided by pi d into d minus square root of d square minus small d square. With the help of this formula, we find out the BH number. Here, P is the applied load, that is the brass, we are applying 1000 kg. Then D is the diameter of the indenter, that is the 10 mm diameter steel ball indenter. Then small d is the average indentation diameter. It disappear onto the specimen, that is the indentation mark. With help of this formula, we find out the BHN number for the different load for the different material. For example, aluminum, we are apply load is 500. Brass, the intermediate material, the copper, brass, and bronze, 1000 to 1500. And the hard material, cast iron and magnesia, where apply load is 3000. With help of this force, and you repeat the procedure as like the brass material, we conduct the test once again. We do the experimentation.
This is a Bernal hardness test. So using this experiment, objective of aim of this experiment is to determine the Bernal hardness number of given aluminum and cast iron sample. Tools required are Bernal hardness testing machine, ball indenter, and Bernal microscope. So procedure, there are 7 steps in the procedure. The first step is we have to fix the load and duration of application of the load. So here there are 4 different metals are given. So we are going to use first metal is ferrous. For ferrous, the corresponding load is 3000 kg and the time is 15 seconds. Time of load is 15 seconds. Again, we are going to use aluminum. For that the load is 1000 kg and the time is 15 seconds. So this for steel we use 3000 kg 15 seconds and aluminum 1000 kg and 15 seconds. This is a standard value. Next, this is a machine, Brenner harness machine. Here we have a dial. Here we can for initial setting. And here we have to fix the workpiece. Above that we have the indenter. Here there is a wheel. By this elevating screw, by rotating the wheel, the workpiece can be moved upward and downward direction. If you rotate clockwise direction, it will move upward. If you rotate the wheel counterclockwise direction, it will move in the downward direction. Again, here we have the loading knob, unloading knob. When you rotate in clockwise direction, the load will be applied on the workpiece by the indenter, and if you unload it, it will be removed. Right. Next is you have to select the weight. Already I told you how much amount of weight is to be applied. So this is a place you got to apply the load. So for aluminum, you have to apply 1000 kg, and after for steel, you have to apply 3000 kg. So after that, you have to press this button, then load will be applied. So it's a hydraulic system. Here, this is a place we have to fix the workpiece. So by rotating the wheel, the screw can be moved upward, and the workpiece will come in contact with the indenter. So once the indenter is having the initial contact, here there are it's a big dial. Inside there is a small dial, and indicator is also there. So when the initial setting is over, that can be confirmed by indicator, and the red spot has to coincide. The indicator has to reach the red spot. Then the setting is over. So now the initial setting is over. So after that, we have to apply the load. So this is a loading knob. You rotate clockwise direction, load will be applied, and you wait for 15 seconds. After 15 seconds, you remove the load. So now after load is removed, you take the workpiece, and this is a microscope. This is a Bernal microscope. You can this purpose of the Bernal microscope is to measure the diameter of the indenter. So after indentation is formed, you use a microscope to find the diameter of the indentation. Already we know the diameter of the indenter. It is a 10 mm. So now you find the diameter of the indentation using this microscope. After that, you have to do the calculation. This is area. This is a area of indentation, area that can be calculated using this equation. Here capital D is diameter of the indenter. How much it is? 10 millimeter. Diameter of the indentation that you have to measure from the microscope. And you substitute all the values in millimeter. You substitute all the values in millimeter. So substitute in millimeters. Similarly, the load you substitute in kg. So Bernal hardness number is load divided by area. Area you can substitute from here in millimeter, load in kg. So it will give you a number. It doesn't have any unit. It is a number, Bernal hardness number. So that will give the indication of hardness. And this is a table. In the table, you have to enter all the details. So materials, we have used two material. One is cast iron, another one is aluminum, and load 3000 kg, 1000 kg indenter. We used 10 mm diameter ball indenter, and the diameters. Diameters you will get from the microscope. You have to enter the diameter. Here there are 3 diameters are given, but we have taken only one diameter. You enter the diameter, then you enter the hardness value. Hardness value you enter here. This you will get from the calculation. Then you have to write mean. We have taken only one reading. You write that reading. So this is a equation for calculation. Finally, results you write the Bernal hardness number of aluminum and Bernal hardness number of cast iron. Good morning. So this is Bernal hardness experiment. Bernal hardness experiment. This experiment also used to calculate the hardness of the metals. Hardness of the metals. In the Rockwell hardness, we have seen how to calculate hardness of a steel and aluminum. Steel and aluminum. So here also we are going to calculate hardness of a steel and aluminum alone. Steel and aluminum only. But the thing is, this is another procedure. That's all. As I told already, there are different scales are available for measuring temperature: degrees Celsius, Kelvin, Fahrenheit. Here also, this is another scale. That's all. Already we have seen Rockwell hardness. This is Bernal hardness. This is Bernal hardness. So here there is a set of procedures. To calculate the hardness of a material. But there in Rockwell calculated based on we are using one indenter. Indenter has a dimension. When some force is applied on the workpiece, it creates a indentation. It's an indentation. So here hardness is, there is an equation to calculate the hardness. The equation is a function of indenter diameter and indentation diameter. So indenter has a diameter. When it is pressed against the workpiece, it will form a indentation that will have a diameter. So indenter diameters already we know the known dimension. So after it is pressed against workpiece, it will create an indentation. That dimension, that diameter, you have to calculate using a microscope. We have a microscope. See, this is a microscope, a small microscope. This is used to find diameter of the indentation. Diameter of the indentation. You keep the workpiece here. And you can view from this top, and that will give the dimension of the indentation. So now we have the dimension of the indentation and dimension of the indenter. By using these two, you will be able to find the hardness. So that is this is a procedure. Almost the procedure is similar to the Rockwell hardness, almost similar, but the thing is, in the Rockwell hardness, the reading is directly given but here we are measuring the diameters, and using the diameter we are calculating